Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. This is the show where we look at the most active stocks on Yahoo Finance for the day. Happy Election Day. Today is November 5th. Never forget the 5th of November, as they would say in V for Vendetta. Let's see if we can get this baby cooking. Now, we are going to be looking real quick at what we had going on. Now, one of the major things that you're going to notice today, if you looked at the actual market before, clearly this is taking too long when it comes to loading Yahoo Finance. One of the things that you're going to notice is that everything was up and to the right. Obviously, we have an election today. People are just cramming in because no matter what happens, the market's going to go up. Do you know why? Because that's what it does, boys and girls. So we look at the most active stocks. It looks like we had Palantir, PLTR, DJT. We had NVIDIA, Plug, and SMCI. Let's go ahead and look at Palantir real quick here. So I'm going to show you based on my own model. If you haven't seen my videos before, I always show you through my own model as I change the data and you see it kind of come through. The reason why is because I want you to recognize that you have access to free data that exists across the internet. Google Finance is a fantastic way for you to be able to get the data. You can see here, it is just a very simple Excel or Google Finance or Google Sheet formula. You can get the data. The rest of this is proprietary for what I've built. Now let's be looking at what has happened in Palantir. What a fucking day. Like, let's be honest. This thing essentially for the past 4 days here, what I like about it is that it had green background with black lettering. That means it was in the standard deviation range. It was within the regular range of the 23-day moving average today. It went up to 51.13, so $51.13. You see what I like as well is that you see a massive breakout in volume. This is the volume spike. A volume spike to me is when the price or the volume is above the 10-day moving average. So 206 million shares traded yesterday, 75 million shares traded. Obviously, this is higher than the previous 10 days, any of those days. You can see we've gone positive on the 1 day, 5 day, 15 day, 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month. If you watch my videos, those are significant milestones to me when you're looking at the actual bullishness. Now, if we're looking at the signals, we have gone from a go long to a go short in the short term. We're still go long in the intermediate. We've just lost our long signal in the longer term. It looks like we're going to be gaining some bullishness in the short term, intermediate term, and we're still bullish in the longer term. We're going to go ahead and look at the overall rolling sentiment here. The thing that I like is that we were essentially in a falling bear. What that means is that we were seeing negative and bearish momentum coming in. If we look at this indicator down below, one of the things that's really nice to see is that you can tell that this indicator was trying to get back to that 50% level. Now, the reason why that's common is because if we look at this, the market is essentially a pull and a tug of war between the bullish and bearish sentiment. Now, that means that it generally wants to hang out around that 50% level. This indicator has trouble when it gets above 60%, and it really has trouble when it gets below 40%. Now, we don't see any of that crazy bullishness or bearishness here in Palantir, but I imagine it is coming. You can see here the highest range that we got on 7-Eleven was 63%. Now, if we look at what happened back in the middle of July, you can see 7-Eleven. We had some crazy bullishness. This thing was up 10% over 5 days. Now, if we're going to go ahead and look at what we've got on the overall review of just the overall charts here, again, we've got a gap up, most likely related to earnings. Love to see that. If you follow Trader Stewie on Twitter, I think he calls out the PEG, the price earnings gap regularly. Fantastic move. Now, if we look at what we see here, big day in volume, not the biggest day, but a very big day in volume that we see today. What I love too is that the volatility is rolling over, which means that the volatility is going to continue to fall. The price is probably going to just continue to rise. The correlation is rising. Two negatives make a positive here. So the price is going to be going sideways to up, which I love to see. The price is above the top of the range. You're going to want to give it a little bit of time. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We send you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. Stocks breaking out between $5 and $20. Stocks breaking out to 1 year highs. Stocks breaking out to all-time highs. It is a great list to get your trading week started. I'll talk.